Hey guys, it's Joe Wendell from JLW Games coming at you again with No Limits 2, and when we left off we created our first element slash drop, and now we're going to create our next element on this ride, which I have sort of a plan for. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I got an idea, so let's get started. First thing I want to do, of course, is go into quad view, which I didn't know how to do in the past, but now I do because one of my subscribers forgot his name off the top of my head. I want to give credit to you for helping me figure this out. So you have to go to File Preferences, and it's under View Layout right here, and you can go down to Quad View, and you can have 4 of these up at once. So let's go ahead and change these. I'll have this bottom one as perspective. Let's have the top left as top. Very cool. And let's go ahead and have, should we have one on front? Front looks like a good one, but for our purposes we need a left or right for this next element. And let's see what else we should do. See, that one's left. And let's have a track. So, because I really only need the top and probably left for this next element. Can we resize these? Yes, we can. So that's pretty cool that you can have all these views up at once, so you don't have to switch back and forth every single time. This will be very useful. Alright, so next, let's take a look at perspective here, what it looks like. Gotta get used to these smaller screens here. You can see in perspective here we got that, and I'm going to go to the track view here, excuse me, and go all the way down here to the bottom of the hill. So we got our twist down into our drop turn, and it goes straight here. So what I want to create actually is an element that I've seen before on a mostly seen on RMC rides. So this is a B&M, so I figured it'd be pretty unique. I know it's an RMC kind of element, but I think it would go really well in this B&M coaster, being that I'm trying to make this a very unique coaster. So what it's going to be is going to be one of those outside bank turns like you see on Outlaw Run or something like that. Except it's going to be a full 190 degree upside down. So it's going to be a little different. Let's add our vertex here. Look, that's really cool. You can see it on all the screens. We're going to add a straight one going this way. Before I do that, I want to select and modify this. Now add the vertex, because then we'll straighten it out here. So I want to create the layout a little bit. So we're going to go, I'm going to figure out which way I want to do this. I think it's going to go, I want to have a little bit of a turn. Maybe we should continue going this way, and it can go, continue going that way. Maybe, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to have a little bit of a turn this way. It's going to come out this direction. And go back this direction. It's actually going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on RMC, which is a good thing. It's going to be more unique that way. Alright, I want to go ahead and look in perspective here. As you can see, this is what we got. Kind of a layout-ish type thing here. And I decided to make it flat to start out so we can measure our height and everything next. So let's go ahead and start measuring these things here. So I'll add a roll there to make it straight and smooth, and let's go ahead and select and modify these. Alright, what we're gonna want to change is the Y here, so let's make this one start off 10 to get started. And we'll make this one about 13 maybe. Yeah, that looks good. And you know, of course, when you depump the vertices, it's going to change all these to make it to the smoothest possible scenario, I guess you'll call it. 16. Let's make this one kind of steep. Let's make it go all the way to 23 maybe. Let's see, we're coming off of 100 or 55 meters, so I want to get this not too high but not too small. Let's see. Let's make this all the way up to this should be the peak one. This should be the highest one. So let's go ahead. I'll adjust this later. Let's make this 10 meters shorter than the drop, which I think will be a good amount, and I can adjust it later. So let's go ahead. We need to raise this one up a little bit, and I possibly need to no, maybe not. I think that's pretty good. Alright, we need to lower this one just a tad. Maybe 10. Yeah, that will be good. Alright, so that one's 10. And, you know, depumping the vertices is definitely going to help overall with this, so don't be too frightened yet by how unsmooth it is. Okay, so this one's going to be relatively the same height as this top one, maybe just a little bit shorter. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, this one's going to be not as much shorter as well, because I need that kind of a straight piece here, in a way. Alright, there's that. This one, let's put it down to about, I don't know, 32. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, this next one, let's move it to 27. Very precise numbers I'm coming up with here. No, we need to go a little lower than that. Let's go 25. Alright, good. Let's send this one down to 18. A little lower. 15. There we go. That will work. Alright, so this is turning out decent. Not the best, but we'll definitely get it to where we want it soon. So let's go ahead and go to the top view here, and I want to depump all these vertices real quick. So let's go to element and depump the vertices. Just smooth it out a little bit so I can work with it, which will really help out in the long run. So this is going to be very awesome. I love this element. It's a very unique element that I've seen on RMC coasters, but this is kind of going to have my own twist to it. It's not completely going to be the same here, as you can see. It's going to be kind of different in a way of what I'm going for here. Alright, so that really smoothed it out really nicely there, as you can see. If we go to the track view, you can see this is what we got so far. That's obviously not how it's going to be, but we're going to get the basic idea here in a minute when I add these rolls on to the ride. So what we're going to do is add some rolls. Go to the track here, and we want it to bend a certain way. We're going to have it bend to the left here. That's the way I want to bend it, is to the left. So we'll add some rolls. we'll straighten it out at the moment. Definitely need quite a few rolls right here at the end. Alright, so I'm going to go to the track view to edit this. So I want to go ahead and select these. This one's going to be no lat G's. Let's send this one to no lat G's. This one needs to be not that way, this way. It's actually going to go 190 degrees. So that's completely upside down. And this one, oh man, I gotta see what I'm doing here. It's kind of this is gonna be kind of a difficult element to make, to be honest. Because what I wanted to do is go back the other way, not do a complete twist like it's doing right now. We want to make it go upside down here. And yeah, this one's gonna be you can see we're going to do this, and it's going to go back the other way. So yeah, that's the basic idea of what I want. So we're going to have to touch this up a little bit. Until it's perfect. But we got the basic idea going on this element that I want. So that's a good thing. Whoa. That one really, I think it banked a little too much right there. Here, we can delete this one since we have one right there. Let's go ahead and take a look what I have so far in the track view. So kind of the basic idea of what I want. It's not exactly perfect yet. So you see you'll go under upside down this way, and you'll flip back the other way after going back upside down right there. And I really enjoy that element. That's a really awesome element in my mind. I love it. It's really thrilling, and it's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to do some basic touch-ups up here in perspective mode here. Like, I might want to spread this out a little bit where it goes upside down. As you can see, it looks really cool. It's a very unique element, and I'm really excited to put it in. I want to go ahead and look at the G-forces here, how they're doing. So we got a very not good G-force right here on the turn. So we might want to add a roll in this area to wind that down a little bit. If I can do it. Alright. Now we're going to select and modify that roll. And no lat G-force will smooth it up, as you can see right there. That looks good. So, as long as you don't have any red, I think it's pretty good. As you can see, that went really smoothly. It actually turned out very nice G-force wise on the G-force comm. So our coaster's looking pretty smooth. And now what I want to do now is take a look here at what that roll did here. It's going to kind of level it out and then bend it again, which I don't know if I like that or not. Flip you upside down, flip you back the other way. Very cool. Alright, now we're going to do, once again, depump the vertices real quick. I always go to the top view, it's the easiest to select them. All the way right here. Go to element, actually, let's go ahead and select all of this and depump the vertices. Now this one's going to take a while since I selected quite a bit of it, so this is an element that I definitely wanted to put in for this ride. The first element, of course, on the drop turn, the twist and drop turn, and then, of course, kind of a ridiculous outside bank turn that looks really cool. And I wanted to do it in my own way. It looks a lot different than what you would see on an RMC ride, so that's really cool that I kind of did that in my own way. Hopefully, I think this will be the end of this episode after I get these vertices depumped and looking really good. So, let me guys know what you want to see next in the roller coaster. Actually, if there's some unique elements that you want me to add, or if there's some really good ideas you have, let me know, because so far I'm trying to make this a very unique ride with some very unique elements, and so far it's looking pretty good, I think, and I love some of these unique elements that I'm adding. Alright, so depumped them. See how our ride looks from the start here. Pretty smooth right there. Going through the twist and into the drop turn. Going down the drop turn here in the hill. Excuse me. And going into our next element, which actually the transition was pretty smooth, where it twists you upside down and bends you back the other way, going to the right. So I think that element turned out pretty well. I did it in my own way. You don't really see elements like that very often, and I kind of did it reversed almost than the way that Rocky Mountain did. If it's Outlaw Run, it actually bends to the right side and then comes back the other way. I kind of did a reverse. You go to the left, it bends you upside down, and then you go back to the right. So a very unique element in my mind. I think it worked very well. It turned out very well. And if you look at the G-force come, very smooth at the moment. Of course, there's always going to be some touching up. At the end, once I finish the layout, I'm going to end up doing some touch-ups to make it even smoother and a little bit better. So that's our coaster so far on our next element, and next time we'll add our next element or elements or whatever whatever we have time for, and hopefully get a lot more of the coaster done. I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been Joe Wendell from JLW Games, signing off. Goodbye, guys. Pretty much what I do is play games for your guys' enjoyment, and obviously I'm bigger on simulation games, and theme park games are what I'm really into, because I've just grown up with theme park simulators like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sim Theme Park, and all those fun games that we all know and love.